Welcome back. In sports news, the Niger Delta Development Commission has pledged to give out prize money of 1.5 million naira to winners of the maiden edition of the President's Goodluck Jonathan Ogbuya Inter-Community Unity Football Competition, billed to take place in Bayelsa State. The grassroots competition is sponsored by the George Turner Foundation and supported by the Bayelsa State government.
It's the official unveiling of the trophy and logo and the group draws for the maiden edition of the President Goodluck Jonathan Ogbuya Inter-Community Unity Football Competition, GEJ Cup 2014. The competition is part of the George Turner Foundation's efforts to engage youths in productive ventures.
I am particularly delighted that even at short notice, you have found time out of your very busy schedule to honor our call.
Along with officials of the NDDC and the Bayelsa State government, the event attracted other dignitaries, including legendary superstars Kanu Nwankwo and Samson Siasia, who promised to bring football scouts to expose players to the international scene.
The winners of this tournament, Kanu Nwankwo,
the trophy and logo, along with group draws for the competing teams drawn from all the communities in Ogbuya local government area of Bayelsa State, were unveiled by the Deputy Governor's representative.
So on behalf of His Excellency, Rhea Amelia Bonimula Jonah, retired Deputy Governor of Bayelsa State, and on the left, and with Papilo at the back, we hereby unveil this program.
All 32 participating teams were given jerseys and other kits free of charge, and considering the magnitude of support the tournament is receiving, it may just turn out to be another important source of discovering new soccer talent for the country.
To tennis now. World number one Serena Williams and 10th seed Caroline Wozniacki are currently battling it out in the U.S. Open women's singles finals in New York. After 45 minutes of tennis action, Serena took the first set 6-3. The second set is currently going on with Serena leading 3-1. The American has been the most aggressive of the two finalists, pushing her friend and rival further towards the back of the court with frightening ferocity. UEFA President Michel Platini has threatened to hand Franck Ribéry a 3-match ban if he refuses to join up with the French national team, despite the fact that the Bayern Munich forward has retired from international football. Ribéry, who missed the 2014 World Cup through injury, announced his retirement from the international scene in August. However, Platini claims the 31-year-old's decision to retire from international duty is out of his hands, as Le Bleu coach Didier Deschamps has the final say on who he chooses to select in his squad. Away from sports now, U.S. President Barack Obama's promise to degrade militant group in Iraq, IS, shrinking its territory and defeating them. The president made the statement during an interview on NBC's Meet the Press, where he also said he's preparing the country to make sure, quote, that we deal with the threat from ISIL. The president has been criticized for saying last month that the U.S. does not have a strategy yet for fighting against ISIS. The Islamic State has been known to take over large swathes of territories in Iraq and in Syria in recent months, with the aim of setting up a functional Islamist state. The U.S. has expanded its operations in Iraq, carrying out airstrikes on IS for the first time and defending Iraqi troops.
We have to get an Iraqi government in place, and I'm optimistic that next week we should be able to get that done. And I will then meet with congressional leaders on Tuesday. On Wednesday, I'll make a speech and describe what our game plans are going to be going forward. But this is not going to be an announcement about U.S. ground troops. This is not the equivalent of the Iraq War. What this is similar to the kinds of counterterrorism campaigns that we've been engaging in consistently over the last 5, 6, 7 years. Have not seen any immediate intelligence about threats to the homeland from ISIL. That's not what this is about. What it's about is an organization that, if allowed to control significant amounts of territory, to amass more resources, more arms, to attract more foreign fighters, including from areas like Europe.
U.S. President Barack Obama. There have been reports of a truce reached by the Ukrainian government and rebels in eastern Ukraine being jeopardized by fresh fighting in the region. The truce and 12-point peace roadmap was signed at talks that had the governments of Ukraine and Russia and separatist rebels and the OSCE present. Before the truce, the rebels had been advancing on both Donetsk airport and Mariupol, a key city close to Crimea, which was annexed by Russia in March. However, by Saturday, there was shelling in Mariupol, in which one woman was killed. Blasts were also reported in Donetsk airport. While both sides have refused to take responsibility for the fresh fighting on Saturday, a new report by Amnesty International accuses all sides in the conflict of committing war crimes. And the main news again. Adamawa State's acting governor, Amadou Fintiri, has emerged a winner of the People's Democratic Party's primary in the northeastern state. The victory, in which he beat 4 other contestants, has confirmed him the party's candidate in the October governorship by-election. And U.S. President Barack Obama has promised to step up the offensive against Islamic State militants in Iraq and in Syria. President Barack Obama says the strategy would not involve the U.S. alone, but would be pursued by an international coalition. And that's the news at 10 tonight. Thank you for watching. I am Amarachi Ubani. Good night.